Hey guys, I wanted to ask you guys the question today is, what have you got to gain by taking control of your food intake? What have you got to gain in your life by giving up the behaviors you have around smoking and the effects that it has on your friends, catching up with friends, your health, etc.? What have you got to gain by quitting smoking? And what have you got to gain by experiencing more of life instead of feeling anxious and fearful, stressed all the time about things that are often outside of your control? You know, often we have this thing, we understand why we want to let go of these things, but often we don't understand about what it is that we have to gain from having and letting go of these things. I ask this question based on feedback that I've been getting from people, either when I've been speaking to them on discovery calls, when people ring up and inquire about my Authentic Man program, as well as my clients that I've been speaking to. And that's why today I wanted to launch with you and let you know about some programs, new programs that I am introducing that are standalone. They're away from my life coaching programs. And these programs are around hypnotherapy. So I have studied as part of my study, I did conscious hypnosis. And so the programs that I'm introducing into and have been using with my life coaching and stuff, these are now going to be programs that are going to be available for a purchase outside of having some coaching. And they're going to be hypnotherapy around weight loss, around quitting smoking, and hypnotherapy for anxiety and stress. So why have these programs come about? Because I want you to be able to create even more massive change to your life. One of the biggest problems I see is that people are fearful about letting go. They're fearful about letting go of the past in order to create the future. And that's why I'm asking the question of you about what have you got to gain by taking control of your food? By letting go of this stranglehold that stress and anxiety can have on you. What have you got to gain by quitting smoking? What, other than the stuff that everyone rabbits on about the quit smoking ads, etc., what have you actually got to gain from it? And begin to let go. I want you to begin to let go of these things, and you want to be doing it with someone who has walked this path, who can help guide you to get to the successful outcome that you're looking for, you specifically are looking for. Another big problem I see is that when I'm talking to people, when I begin to talk to them about the power of the unconscious mind, they don't understand how habits and how our bodies, 97% of our daily lives are made up of habits. Now, I've done a webinar on habits and the power of the unconscious mind. So if you guys are interested in learning more about this, I think it's a 49-minute webinar. I talk about how we do interrupt with patterns, etc. You're able to access that webinar on my website at mattsteer.com.au on the resources page, and if you go down to webinars, you'll be able to access that webinar. Just put in your join the mailing list and you'll be able to access that webinar. I talk about it a lot more about the power of the habits that operate in the back of our life. They run in the back of our mind constantly. And so if you're wanting to begin to make change to your life, if you're beginning to be that momentum of change and have personal transformation, you're going to want to change these habits. So what I'm offering here is the fact that we want to create new and empowering habits that automatically run in the back of our mind. And the best way to be able to access this is through hypnosis. I want to share this with you guys, and that is that I first got to experience hypnosis back in 2011, and I was going through a divorce at the time. The divorce was in 2010, but I made the decision in 2011 to not ever have my life the way it had been up till this point. And I had seen some therapists and other things, and I just didn't feel like I was actually getting the results that I wanted. And I did some research, and I found this life coach and hypnotherapist, and it was a very structured program with what we were doing in that program. But I understood in there the power of hypnotherapy, because the program was structured around using life coaching principles and stuff that we use in order to reframe or restructure or ask questions about our life. And then we began, through the power of hypnotherapy, began to instill the new habits through the power of suggestion, so that we were able to leverage change. And I can tell you right now that for me, the greatest change I got to experience was consolidating the life coaching changes and the questions and all the work stuff that I did on this 12-week program, and got to use the hypnotherapy to instill the changes that I wanted to have towards my goal. Now, I'm just going to put a little disclaimer in here. My results were incredible. Like, I was so excited by what I got to experience. And in fact, I continued to use hypnotherapy well after I finished with my life coach at the time and the hypnotherapist. The disclaimer here that I want to backtrack onto is that not everyone is going to get the same results as what I got to do. Not every person will experience the same things that I had from my experience with this life coach. And that's why we have our screening calls that we have at the start of each session. All right, so let's just quickly check in. I hope that story resonated with you guys, because for me, the power of hypnotherapy and life coaching was incredible. It was life-changing, and that's why I'm standing here right here today. The other thing is, I want to ask you the question which I asked at the start of this video, and that was, what have you got to gain by letting go of the smoking, by letting go of the stress and anxiety, this thing that we go back to? What have you got to gain by taking control of your food intake? So I ask you, could you get more energy? Could you get more fulfilling relationships? Could you get more time back? Each of the hypnotherapy sessions are designed specifically for you. They're specifically designed because each person is different. So if you're wanting to have more time, more energy, to feel like life is a lot easier than what it has, why don't you use the power of hypnotherapy today? Begin to use the power of the unconscious mind in order to create new habits. So what I want you to do now is to contact me if you are wanting to make a change to your life. If you're wanting to use the power of the unconscious mind to make change. So my programs come with a 100% happiness guarantee. And what that is for my hypnotherapy for quitting smoking, my hypnotherapy for anxiety and stress, and my hypnotherapy for weight loss. I'm offering additional sessions if we do not achieve your goal. So that is, each of the packages is 5 sessions. They must be done within a month in order for the effects to be able to take hold and begin to work silently in the back of our minds. All right, so that is 100% happiness guarantee. Obviously conditions apply with that. So it's up to you today. If you want to reach out, and it's easy just to reach out today, have a discovery call with me, have a chat, and we can begin to see if you're suitable and if we're suitable to begin hypnotherapy for you today. Below, guys, will be a link of forgotten the name of it, the website, my website page, where you can learn more information. All right, guys, look forward to speaking to you guys soon. Okay, bye.